So we're going to go to Minnesota, where the push for justice in the death of Daunte Wright is really raging there. Former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter will be in court for the very first time today. She is charged with second-degree manslaughter after killing Wright during a routine traffic stop. There were clashes last night in Brooklyn Center between the protesters throwing things and police using tear gas to disperse the crowd. But most of the day's events, we have to say, were peaceful, including a vigil for Daunte Wright, where he was shot. Omar Villafranca is in the Brooklyn Center. Omar, good morning to you.
Good morning. Things are calm now behind me, as you can see, and despite the mayor's calls for peaceful protests, there was some unrest last night. But now the mayor says that law enforcement officials are working to identify what they call agitators, because he says he knows there's a lot of people who are coming here to protest peacefully.
Your voices have been heard.
Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott urged calm in the community following the announcement that charges of second-degree manslaughter had been brought against former police officer Kim Potter.
There is nothing I can say or do that will bring Daunte back or ease your grief. His death will not go in vain.
Potter, a 26-year veteran of the force, had been training another officer Sunday when they pulled Wright over for an expired tag. They discovered Wright had an outstanding warrant for a misdemeanor weapons charge and tried to arrest him. When Wright resisted, the former police chief said Potter thought she grabbed her taser, but instead pulled her Glock 9mm handgun with her right hand. An investigator examining Potter's duty belt after the shooting said her taser was on her left side and her handgun was on the right, as seen in this past photo. According to the criminal complaint, the taser was yellow with a black grip and set in a straight draw position, meaning the defendant would have to use her left hand to draw the taser out of its holster. A taser also weighs about 8 ounces, while a loaded handgun is about 2 pounds.
Manslaughter 2 is the least she should get. The least, possibly more.
Civil rights activist Al Sharpton praised the decision to charge Potter.
If she didn't know in 26 years the difference in size and weight of a gun as opposed to a taser, then how was she a veteran in policing?
Potter is now out on bail, and if convicted, she could face a maximum of 10 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. Now, we talked to use of force expert Greg Meyer, and he said in the last 20 years, I want to get this right, 18 cases where officers have confused their weapons and fired at suspects have happened, including this case. And of those cases, 8 officers were charged. 2 cases are still pending, including Potter's. Tony?
Shows how rare this really is. Omar, thank you very much.